Serena Matcha here! In today's video, I'm going to share with you 10 writer hacks that I have either read about or tried that I believe that every writer should know. These are simply tips for writer's block, motivation, and story editing, which I'm sharing with you in one video. Hack number 1. Finish your section mid-sentence in a place that is exciting. Whenever you are writing, make sure you finish the particular scene which you are writing, halfway through a specific sentence in a place which you are really stuck in. If you do that, then that means the next day, when you have to come back to it, you'll be very eager because 1, it's an unfinished sentence, and 2, it's a section which you're already really interested in. This is especially good, by the way, if you've written a bit and you know which words are going to come afterwards. Don't write them yet, save it and come back to it the next day. Hack number 2, if you use Scrivener, set small word count targets. Now, if you have a daily word count of 5,000 words, rather than sitting there thinking, oh God, I've got to write 5,000 words, oh my God, that's gonna kill me. Do it in small increments. So on Scrivener, you can have so let's say you've already written 20,000 words, you want to bring it up to 25,000 words, and it's showing you 20/25,000. What you can do is you can change that goal to say 22,000. So rather than writing 5,000 words, you're only writing 2,000 words. And the little progress bar, it will go kind of more further ahead the more progress that you have made. So it's a way of telling your brain, oh, okay, I've already written quite a lot. I've not got that much left to write. And it goes more green the further you write. So then once you get to 22,000, do that again. Maybe bring it up to 23,500 and then 24,000 until eventually you've got 25,000. And then you're still getting there. You're just doing it in small steps rather than all in one go. Hack number 3. Edit using Comic Sans. Most people advise that whenever you edit a story, it's always good to edit it, to go back and edit it using a different font, because it's kind of like a way of looking at it with fresh eyes. And a beta reader actually advised Comic Sans to me, and it has really helped. I find Comic Sans to be a really good font to edit with. I don't know what it is. It's about like the rounded text or something, but it's just really helped. It makes it really easy to pick out the grammatical errors. Hack number 4. I actually saw this in a YouTube video. If you're struggling with writer's block, give yourself permission to write rubbish. Seriously, just sit in front of your computer and go, I'm gonna write a bunch of crap today, if you're stuck. I actually did this with my romance novella, Professor Valentine. I literally just said to myself, I'm going to write a really crappy love story. And 2 days later, I had 20,000 words. What happens is that when you allow yourself to write badly, you end up becoming more uninhibited. So it becomes much easier to then let the story just flow right through you. Hack number 5. Set specific days of the week where you want to write. My therapist actually advised I do this. Rather than trying to write every single day, say that allocate specific days. So for example, if you're only able to write on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday are writing days. I don't have any other job, so I'm fortunate in that I can delegate which days I do what on. I've decided to constrict my writing days to Monday to Fridays, which means that on the weekends I can do things like story origin stuff, Facebook group stuff, newsletter stuff, YouTube stuff, and actually having a life. So I think that's a really good tip, because it will definitely help that you don't end up getting burned out, rather than if you try to write every single day, you might get burned out very quickly, especially if you have a host of other commitments. Even if you're a full-time writer, you might still have promotional, marketing, admin stuff to do. So allocating your writing to specific days is really helpful. Hack number 6. If you live with other people, put a do not disturb sign on your door when you are writing. This tells the other people that if you're writing and they want to chat to you, they gotta wait till you're done. Sometimes people might forget that you're writing, so if you have that sign saying do not disturb, it's basically a subtle way of saying I can't do it right now. Hack number 7. Have a bottle of water and some snacks next to you when you are writing. Brain food is important, and staying hydrated is essential if you want to keep that flow. Don't do what I sometimes do, which is I will literally be starving while I'm writing, and I really don't work well on an empty stomach, but because I'm so engrossed into the story and I can't bloody stop, it's like I'm on caffeine and I don't even drink coffee. Having something next to you, a snack, a drink, will help you to stay on top of everything so you won't completely lose your mind. Hack number 8, give yourself a little treat at the end of each writing session. This could be chocolates, a movie to watch, a book to read, a phone call with a friend, whatever, something for you to look forward to, so when you finish your writing for the day, you go and you have something nice to do. This gives you something to look forward to. It's also a form of positive reinforcement because it makes you associate writing as something positive because you're getting something good after doing it. You have a stronger incentive to do something if there is a positive outcome at the end of it. Hack number 9, put your phone on airplane mode when you're writing. It's good to put your phone on silence, but if it's on silence, then people can still call you and they might be like, why didn't you pick up? Why do you not like me anymore? So if you put your phone on airplane mode, it means that you can't get any calls. You could just turn it off, but you gotta turn it off, turn it back on again. Leave this on airplane mode. It's on in case you need to check the time or call the police, but it's not gonna disturb you while you're working. Hack number 10! If you get stuck while writing a certain passage, put in brackets, we'll come to this later, or etc, etc. I do this so much. I've done this so much with my romance stories. Like, I'll be writing and then there's a bit which I need to research, so I literally just put blah blah blah, etc, etc, or said something, or you know, like anything. It's just because what this does is it means you don't have to break your focus by going and researching that thing. You're able to still continue the flow state of your writing, but you're telling yourself that you're going to come back to it later. Just try not to do on every page, because if you start doing that, then you might end up being a bit tricky when it comes to editing it later on. So only do that if you really have to. So I hope these hacks were helpful. If you have any interesting writer hacks that you want to tell me about, be sure to share them below. Yeah! Writer hacks! Subscribe!